We look at the spectrum of human skin colors today, from rich dark brown to pale pink, and see dividing lines. But science reveals that this superficial variation is not a biological marker of race, but a beautiful equation of survival. Our collective story begins millions of years ago, under the fierce, unrelenting sun of the ancient African continent. Initially, our earliest hominid ancestors were covered in a dense layer of dark, protective fur, much like other primates. To hunt and travel long distances without overheating under the intense tropical sky, our ancestors made a critical evolutionary trade-off. They gradually shed their heavy body fur, maximizing the efficiency of bare skin to sweat and cool down rapidly. However, losing this protective fur coat suddenly exposed their sensitive bare skin directly to dangerous ultraviolet radiation from above. This environmental shift forced natural selection to solve a complex chemical crisis happening right at the skin's surface. The human skin transformed into a biological dial, carefully adjusting how much solar radiation could penetrate into the body. Every step they took across the equatorial landscape required a precise biological defense mechanism to ensure the survival of offspring. As their physical bodies adapted to the open air, their skin became the frontline canvas of evolutionary change. The intense equatorial UV rays possessed the destructive power to mutilate cellular structures and alter biological compounds. To step out of the shadows and roam freely, their bodies needed to manufacture an organic, impenetrable shield. The body answered this threat by weaponizing a natural pigment molecule called melanin, darkening the skin's outer layer. This dark pigmentation became the standard human uniform at the equator, a beautiful and mandatory shield for survival. The darkening of the skin was not an arbitrary cosmetic change. It was a matter of absolute biological life and death. For millennia, this high melanin barrier perfectly preserved the genetic integrity of early human populations across Africa. The dark skin protected the delicate mechanisms of reproduction, ensuring the unbroken continuity of our ancestral lineage. But this biological equilibrium would soon face a dramatic disruption, as human curiosity drove populations to migrate. Leaving the cradle of Africa meant stepping beneath entirely new skies, where the rules of survival would completely invert. To understand skin color, we must look at a delicate biological tightrope between two essential vitamins. On one side of the rope is folate, a crucial B vitamin necessary for cellular division, DNA repair, and healthy pregnancies. Intense ultraviolet radiation directly breaks down folate circulating in the blood, leading to severe birth defects and reproductive failure. High melanin acts as a biological umbrella, successfully absorbing and scattering UV rays to safeguard the body's precious folate reserves. But as ancient human bands migrated north into regions like Europe and Asia, the intensity of solar radiation dramatically plummeted. Under these dim, northern skies, a dark melanin shield became an evolutionary disadvantage, blocking out almost all available sunlight. The human body requires a specific wavelength of sunlight, UVB, to naturally synthesize vitamin D inside the skin layers. Without sufficient vitamin D, the body cannot absorb calcium, resulting in kaisung, weak bones, and dangerous childbirth complications. Natural selection aggressively favored mutations that dialed back melanin production, allowing the skin to become significantly lighter. Depigmentation allowed the scarce northern UVB light to penetrate deeply, successfully manufacturing enough vitamin D to maintain life. Skin color is simply a dynamic evolutionary compromise, a geographic trade-off between protecting folate and synthesizing vitamin D. This biological mapping correlates perfectly with global geography, creating a continuous spectrum of tone across latitudes. The skin was never meant to be a permanent racial boundary, but a highly responsive evolutionary organ adjusting to the sun. Every shade of human skin is a brilliant success story, an optimization plan executed flawlessly by our ancestors' biology. The loss of pigment was a necessary adaptation to survival in a world where the sun had lost its equatorial ferocity. The chemical change happened slowly over thousands of generations, a quiet adjustment recorded in our genetic code. Our ancestors did not understand the chemistry of vitamins, but their cells responded perfectly to the demands of the sky. The dark and light variations we see today are the direct physical remnants of those ancient geographic pressures. Beneath the thin layer of adaptive melanin, the underlying biological framework of all human beings remains completely identical. The architecture of our skin is a testament to our shared origin, a unified canvas painted by environmental necessity. When we look across the globe, we see that skin tone maps beautifully onto the intensity of local UV radiation. The mechanism is an elegant loop of feedback, ensuring the body maintains an optimal chemical balance wherever it roams. History has misunderstood this chemical equation for centuries, treating an environmental adaptation as an inherent hierarchy. But science has finally cleared away the historical fog, revealing the true engineering marvel happening within our cells. We are all children of the same sun, carrying different shades of the exact same biological shield against the cosmos. However, if we look closely at a global map of skin tones, we find fascinating anomalies that seem to break the rule. First, the video clarifies a common misconception. Cold temperatures or harsh winter winds do not make human skin white. Skin pigmentation responds exclusively to ultraviolet radiation levels, completely independent of ambient air temperature or local weather. Consider the indigenous populations living in the extreme Arctic circles, who have maintained dark skin despite minimal solar exposure. The secret behind this anomaly lies entirely in their traditional diet, which is exceptionally rich in fresh marine mammals and fatty fish. Because their food automatically provides a massive, abundant supply of preformed vitamin D, their bodies faced zero evolutionary pressure to lighten. Diet acts as a powerful buffer, interrupting the direct relationship between local sunlight levels and the evolution of skin color. When nutrition solves the chemical requirement from within, the skin is free to retain its high melanin protection against snow glare. The blinding reflection of sunlight off massive sheets of Arctic ice actually creates a high UV environment during the summer months. This traditional diet allowed these northern populations to thrive for thousands of years without suffering from severe skeletal deficiencies. It proves that evolution operates through multiple pathways, combining external skin adaptations with internal dietary strategies for survival. These dietary factors explain the complex patches and anomalies on the global map of human skin pigmentation. Evolution is a pragmatic problem solver, utilizing whatever resources are readily available in the immediate environment to maintain balance. The sea provided the crucial nutrients that allowed human skin to remain dark, even in the deep shadows of the north. Every cultural food tradition carries hidden evolutionary benefits, anchoring human biology to the unique chemistry of local landscapes. We cannot separate the history of our skin from the history of what our ancestors gathered, caught, and consumed. Their physical appearance is a beautiful testimony to a brilliant synergy between human culture, diet, and planetary geography. The chemical code of survival is flexible, rewriting its rules whenever a new source of sustenance is discovered in the wild. The Arctic anomaly beautifully enriches our understanding of natural selection, showing that skin is just one part of the equation. The human tapestry is full of these intricate, hidden loops, where lifestyle and biology intertwine to defy simple classification. Because these adaptations happen gradually across geography, the traditional social concept of distinct races completely collapses under scientific scrutiny. Human skin color does not exist in separate, neat biological boxes. It changes as a smooth, continuous gradient across the Earth. If you were to walk from Central Africa to Northern Europe thousands of years ago, you would never cross a magical color border. You would witness an unbroken, beautiful transition of tone, a seamless blend of color completely mapping onto changing latitude. Furthermore, genetic research reveals that pale skin in Western Europe and pale skin in East Asia evolved through entirely different mutations. Therefore, there is absolutely no original or baseline human skin color. Dark skin is not primitive, and light skin is not advanced. They are simply different historical chapters of the exact same survival story, written by different skies onto our outer tissue. Ranh giới nhân tạo chúng ta tạo ra để chia rẽ loài người, hoàn toàn bị phơi bày như những ảo tưởng khoa học sinh ra từ sự thiếu hiểu biết lịch sử. The genetic distance between individuals of the same skin tone can be far greater than the distance between individuals of different colors. The old categorization systems are completely useless, failing to capture the dynamic, fluid reality of our species' history. We are an incredibly young, highly unified evolutionary family that has spent millennia sharing genes across artificial geographic boundaries. Our cognitive capacities, emotional depth, and human value are completely independent of the melanin content dial in our skin. To categorize humans by skin color is as absurd as categorizing books exclusively by the color of their outer covers. The collapse of racial biology invites us to look at each other through a lens of profound unity and shared ancestral heritage. In our hypermodern world, rapid transportation technologies have completely broken the ancient geographical rules of skin color. Today, individuals with low melanin ancestral roots live beneath the intense, burning sun of equatorial regions, requiring artificial chemical. Simultaneously, individuals with high melanin ancestry live in misty northern cities, requiring vitamin D supplements to sustain their physical health. Our modern lifestyles move far faster than the slow, majestic pace of biological evolution, creating a unique mismatch. Your unique skin is a living, breathing historical document, a beautifully preserved map of your ancestors' long, epic journey. It records every desert they bravely crossed, every harsh winter they survived, and every bright sky they walked beneath. We are a single, remarkably flexible species that has conquered every corner of this planet through pure adaptive genius. The differences we see are not walls of division, but beautiful monuments to our collective capacity to change and endure. The variety of human skin color is proof of our resilience, showing how beautifully our cells listen to the environment. Our biology is an elegant archive of survival, holding the wisdom of millions of years of interaction with the natural elements. We carry the memory of ancient suns and primeval skies right inside the pigment cells of our outer flesh. The long evolutionary chain that brought your DNA to this exact moment required a flawless orchestration of cellular chemistry. We are the living testimony of a grand terrestrial experiment, a single humanity wearing different shades of the same shield. So look at the spectrum of human color not as a boundary of race, but as a stunning testament to our shared mastery of survival. Celebrate the diversity of our global family, for your skin is a beautiful masterpiece painted by the ancient history of the Earth itself.